Welcome to The Project. Tonight, Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton are facing off ahead of the federal election. How Donald Trump could shift the dial when it comes to our next PM.
The Aussie landlord left reeling after the family renting a property turned it into a house of horrors. We'll take you inside.
Plus, British comedy icon Jimmy Carr is gearing up to tour Down Under, and he's chatting to us about it first.
And the US Senator who broke the record for the longest time speaking on the Senate floor. It was 25 hours, and good news, guys, I spoke to the network. We are going to bring you the whole thing in full right now.
Yes!
Do not go anywhere. Very excited. I knew you'd be excited by this.
What's great about that is that's tonight's show and tomorrow's show.
Yeah, exactly. We get 2 nights off.
Yeah,
okay.
In the meantime, we are live from the lands of the Cooler Nation. It's a big welcome tonight to former BBC New York correspondent and now ABC Radio National Saturday Extra, Nick Bryan. Sorry, you've just got so many credentials. It's hard to get through them all in time.
Yes, indeed. History is coming at us thick and fast, isn't it? And it's good to be here. I prefer to be covering Trump from afar than close up, which is what I used to do every day.
He's coming for you. Speaking of which, Aussie exporters are just hours away from learning if they're going to be whacked with a Trump tariff. So, with his threat of attacks on Aussie business looming large, Donald Trump is casting a long shadow over the election campaign trail.
The Australian election is shaping up as a battle between the two major parties, a coalition of almost everybody versus Donald Trump.
That would be a good one. I'd like that.
It's just hours till kick-off on Donald's
Liberation Day,
in which he plans to announce sweeping tariffs on imports, retaliation against trading partners, likely to include us, for what he considers unfair practices. And every Aussie polly near a microphone is eager to show they won't be cowed.
We are not willing to trade away the things that make Australia the best country in the world.
We won't be trading away what's important to Australians.
We will not be trading away any of the things that make our country great.
It's an unusual lockstep for dueling campaigns. The main disagreement between the two leaders seems to be over who is better equipped to handle Trump.
If I needed to have a fight with Donald Trump or any other world leader to advance our nation's interests, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Peter Dutton will always dial things up to 11. This guy has no experience in international relations.
Trump is like a looming cyclone on this election. No one knows exactly what the effects will be. Everyone's trying to prepare for it. But unlike a cyclone which we name, Trump doesn't get named. And the reason he doesn't is because nobody wants to be blamed for even worse trade sanctions or other retributions from Washington.
Labor is reportedly preparing to challenge the Trump administration at the WTO if Australia is included in the tariffs.
We're prepared for all possibilities.
The tough talk on Trump is crucial at a time when polls show half of Aussies feel less secure since his election. But the pollies are also treading softly, knowing maintaining diplomatic relations with the biggest economy in the world may mean avoiding any overt criticism of its leader.
Are you calling Peter Dutton Timu Trump?
No.
They're a trusted ally, but we'll agree to disagree on many things and prepared to do that in a respectful way.
Nobody wants to talk about the fact that Australia's closest ally has suddenly become a political negative and an unreliable partner. So it's a really difficult dance that both sides are doing at the moment.
With hours to go until Trump's tariff announcement, the government is reportedly warning Aussie businesses to brace for 20% tariffs across the board, a move that would have a huge effect on the global economy and possibly on the race for the top job here.
Yeah, Typhoon Trump, it's coming our way for sure, yeah. And it's amazing how it's impacting the Australian election already. I mean, 2 months ago, you kind of thought there was this global cultural vibe shift rightwards and that Peter Dutton would be the beneficiary of that. But 2 months on, after Trump said about annexing Canada and invading Greenland and taking over Gaza, things look very different. And I think the sort of crazier that Trump has got, it almost seems the stronger Anthony Albanese.
It's mostly the tariff stuff, though, isn't it? Because I feel like Australians are happy to engage with American politics at a distance as though it's showbiz a little bit. And they'll pick a team in the same way they pick a footy team and kind of barrack in that way. Tariffs has changed it because that's made it about our hip pockets, our industries, and it becomes a much more concrete thing.
Yeah, and when your nation is coming under fire from Donald Trump, the natural response often is to just rally round the leader. So perhaps we're seeing a little bit of that as well. I'm struck as well by, we've been banging on about anti-incumbency and how being an incumbent government's a real disadvantage. But, the government's been trying to shift the narrative on that and saying, at a time of such crazy international instability, stick with the government you know. And that seems to have some resonance as well.
A lot of questions, isn't there? Number one, what is a tariff? But I'll look that up after the show.
Science degree?
Yeah, we didn't get to tariffs at a taste. Now, yesterday, guys, I showed you how Albo has rebranded as a bad boy. Do you remember this? Well, today, the sass has continued.
No. Why not? Because it's my press conference.
Oh, now he did leave that press conference on a Harley Davidson as well. I don't know what that means. But I have done some more digging, guys, and this is all over the past few weeks. I was on the computer today having a look. It gets worse. This guy, he's bad news. He's bad to the bone.
1, 2, 3. Whoa. Ready? Hang on. Whoa. Hang on. We'll go here. You. And Mark, here. Then here, just here. Whoever you yell, don't get the question. Whoa. Hang on. Whoa. You just go to the back. This is my press conference.
What? Oh, my God. I tell you what, we are one press conference away from him lighting up a cigarette and flushing a journalist's head down the toilet. Wow. I can feel it. And I'm going to cover it. That's my pledge to the Australian people.
All right. Now, meanwhile, back in the United States, Democratic US Senator Cory Booker has made history by delivering the Senate's longest ever continuous speech. He held the floor for 25 hours and 5 minutes to protest Trump policies.
I rise tonight because I believe sincerely that our country is in crisis. That we share on both sides of the aisle. How could we be...
He told the Senate he'd continue for as long as he was physically able and spoke for 47 minutes longer than the previous record.
My friend, Madam President, I yield the floor.
Are they applauding the content or the end?
I think they're applauding the effort.
It's over, thank God.
It was not really fair of us to play a clip out of context, was it? We really should.
Well, so people didn't watch the whole thing. Apparently,
nuance of it.
Apparently, at the 18-hour mark, he started reading some sex scenes from Sally Rooney's book *Normal People*, and that really got people aren't reporting
to get through that tricky 18 hours.
You're not able to use the bathroom or anything.
Yeah, that would have ended the speech, and he wouldn't have broken the record. And the record he broke actually was held by a guy, a virulent racist, a white supremacist. That's partly why he delivered the speech, to wipe him out of the record books. He actually used a catheter to speak for 24 hours.
What?
I'm not sure if Cory Booker went that far.
So maybe he was wearing, the adult diapers that the astronauts wore when they drove across town.
Too much detail, but no, an amazing book. And I think he wanted to show the Democrats still have a bit of backbone. And what better way to show that you've got a strong backbone and strong legs than to stand on your feet for 25 hours?
Isn't that taking the idea of backbone and legs a little literally?
Probably.
What about some good policy? You don't have to do a 25-hour speech. Sorry, that was too serious.
Oh,
Everyone's freaking out.
Time for a break. We'll see you very soon.
Welcome to the project.
Guys, now, Nick, it's so exciting to have you here. You're a globe-trotting journalist. It's very exciting. But you're not going to believe it. There are other pros at the top of their game doing this stuff. One right here. So you might learn something. Get your pen and paper out. We're going to talk international news coverage. Let's do it. OK, first, there are protests on the streets of Turkey where some unlikely demonstrators, unfortunately, they've been caught up in the mayhem.
In Turkey, Erdogan's crackdown has not even spared Pokemons. Pikachu was seen fleeing the police during the protests.
Oh, no. Oh, Pikachu's quite young. That's so sad. And unfortunately, it gets worse. Bulbasaur and Squirtle didn't make it. Oh, yeah, they're the big Pokemon in the sky. Now, to the UK, because if Dutton and Abbott and Albanese want to grab some people's attentions, guys, they need to take a leaf out of the Liberal Democrats' playbook.
This is Ed Davey, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, about to launch their local election campaign.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, my man. Oh, God. Oh,
Has he done
boy.
it?
God, geez, if that was the Melbourne Cup in Australia, he wouldn't make it out of there. Now to the US for a no-nonsense report on a burst water main. Good reminder to get your prostate checked, actually.
So this free car wash. Here we go.
Where they're free oh, no, come on. The bubbler. God, I didn't know Todd Carney was reading the news in America now. That's outrageous. Let's stay in the US, guys, because I have a sneaking suspicion this guy here didn't provide his real name.
Local 12 interviewed the first customer who got in line.
I'm a Florida resident, so I know Publix, but
Oh, heavens. Do you know what, Jack, you're right. Okay, now it is
What,
real.
Mayhoff?
It's Mayhoff, yeah. Apparently he's named after his father, Jack Mayhoff Sr. And that's been confirmed by his friends Seymour Butts and Drew P. Wiener.
Yeah. Well done.
Now to the UK for a seasonal crime report.
Police have released video of the moment they caught a man with dozens of cream eggs stuffed inside his jacket.
Christ, what you got in there? Cream eggs.
Cream eggs.
They're going to fall out.
Then one after another, after another,
That's a lot of cream eggs.
after another. In total, more than £220 worth of cream eggs.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, wasn't that the same crime you were deported here for?
I'm a big fan of cream eggs.
Now, guys, this is exciting personal news. I'm actually heading to Texas tomorrow. I've got a few days off. So this is more for me. Let's just check out the weather so I know what to pack.
Take it away, Carter.
Today we are in the studio with such a very special guest to me, and that is because this is my girlfriend Ashton.
Two weather reports.
Awesome. Thank you so much, production.
Okay, there's candles. That's good. Oh. No. Wait, no. But what's the weather, mate?
Will you marry me?
Who's the person playing the violin? What's the weather doing?
Oh, that's so sweet. That is awesome.
Yeah, awesome, dude. But do I need a jacket or not? Can we get some serious news anchors back, please? Thank you. Sorry, I'm playing. That was. Thank you.
Did you learn?
Yeah, did they teach you that
what
at
have you
the
learned?
BBC?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I thought that gushing was Cory Booker coming off the at the end of that 24-hour speech.
Hey, it's time for a look at who's making waves in the Aussie music world this week.
Sia has performed her 2011 smash Titanium with David Guetta and Afrojack live for the first time ever at the 25th Ultra Music Festival in Miami. And Dom Dollar closed out the main stage with John Summit and lost his voice.
I sound like the devil.
The 30th anniversary celebrations for Silverchair's debut album, Frog Stomp, featured a live tribute from Sydney band The Boys. Sneaky Sound System will open for Ministry of Sound Classical on the Gold Coast next month. The duo has dropped a new single called Shiver. That's ARIA Amplify.
Life's a cabaret, baby. And the world's largest cabaret festival is back with even bigger names. Yes, Malboy and 7-time Grammy Award-winning muso Jacob Collier. What a musician he is. They join this year's star-studded Adelaide Cabaret Festival, which is hosted by one of Australia's favourite actors.
And she's here now. Please welcome the festival's artistic director, Virginia Gay.
Oh my God, the cabaret started already.
Oh my God, a stadium for me.
Hey, so good to see you, firstly.
Great to see you too, Sam.
Often I'll be doing stand-up at fringe festivals and there's cabaret performers and there's burlesque performers.
Yeah.
People often ask me, they're like, what should we see? I always say, see cabaret, but I can never really describe what it is. Could you please pitch right now the definition or what you think cabaret is?
Great. All right. I think it's very simple. I think it's stories into song. So it's just real simple like that. You can do stories into song, and then you can do whatever you want with the song. For our festival, I say it's world-class storytellers with world-class voices. That's what it is. And we have lots of Adelaide local incredible talent as well as these global superstars. But just stories into song means that you can be very flexible with that term. So it's very useful when you're programming a festival. You want as much variety as possible.
So if you deliver your punchlines in song, you're cabaret act.
Cabaret.
I'm looking for a tall, white performer. What are the odds?
That's great because we struggle to get work up. So that's fantastic.
You left out the glitter because the theme is glitter, bling it on. I'm worried about what happens after 12 days of glitter.
Which is like a Christmas curse, isn't it? What happens is that glitter stays on you and it stays on you forever. It is a warning. Cabaret is not an art form entirely free of pain because glitter will get into places that you don't know could have glitter in them. Yeah, totally. And it comes sort of, it somehow forms like a cloud around you. And so like I moved, like a glitter storm cloud. And so I moved location after shooting that night shoot of that beautiful, incredible TVC. And I moved location and I moved to a new hotel room and I walked in and I sat down and next to me on the sofa was glitter. And I was like, but how? But I haven't been in this room before. How did you know to find me?
So here's what I want to know, Virginia. How come Adelaide gets to host all the best festivals? Is this kind of decreed in the Australian Constitution? Or, I mean, it's amazing that you have these wonderful events.
We feel very lucky. It's called the City of Festivals. We do back-to-back festivals. Everybody knows about March Madness, which is when the Fringe and the festival is on, the Adelaide Festival.
Yeah.
So glorious, right? And those City Comes Alive. The difference with us is that we are a winter festival, that it is a big, warm, sparkly hug in the middle of an Adelaide winter, and we just draw you close and we say, now that you're here and you're warm and you're drinking champagne like it's water, why go home?
Hey, Virginia, I've seen you described as the highly sex mastermind behind the festival. Great description.
That is an unbelievably good description.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Put it on my tombstone.
Can you make anything sexy?
I mean, that's an incredible sentence. That's a challenge I would love to rise to.
What about the budget?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is wow.
Take a quick flip through and just, whatever pops out at you, make it.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. You have to get really up close to the mic.
Okay.
Can I do this?
Okay.
In a difficult global economic environment,
Oh my God.
the Australian economy has turned a corner.
Oh my God.
Growth is rebounding solidly. Inflation, and you know what I'm talking about, has moderated substantially. Unemployment remains low.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Who knew fiscal responsibility could be so sexy?
Hey, can I actually borrow that now? That would be awesome. Thanks. Yeah, that was.
It was good of Jim Chalmers to write, and you know what I'm talking about with the budget. I hadn't seen that before.
It's helpful. It's for us to understand.
The Adelaide Cabaret Festival runs from the 5th to the 21st of June. Head to our website for information, including on where to get tickets. Would you please? Thank Virginia. Yay!
More projects after this. See you soon.
Back watching the project.
Let's get into more of today's top stories. And Top Gun and Batman star Val Kilmer has passed away, aged 65. His family revealing he died from pneumonia. Val leaves behind daughter Mercedes and son Jack, as well as a 4-decade-long acting legacy. Tonight, the world remembers a Hollywood legend.
Smells like a battle.
I suppose you're a warrior.
I am the greatest swordsman that ever lived.
You can be my wingman anytime. Bullshit. You can be mine. Yeah! You are great.
I have an appointment. I'm Bruce Wayne.
I never ever meant to stray, but when she looked at me that way, when I was young and gave Marie made me forget.
For me, the sun rises and sets with her, man.
You put a live round in that gun. Oh, yeah, there was like an 8% chance. Wasn't it just 8? 8? Yeah. Who taught you math? This is the end.
It'll be better for everyone if we just forget what's happened.
This is the end. My only friend, the end.
One last thing. Who's the better pilot? You or me?
It's a nice moment. Let's not ruin it.
No safety or surprise, the end.
So many incredible movies, but Top Gun was really what launched him into the stratosphere, right? He didn't even want to audition for the role. His agent forced him to.
Really?
He actually tried to sabotage the auditions, read the lines incorrectly. He said he was deflated when he got the role because he wasn't interested in the story.
Really?
But the intensity that he had, I mean, he had fewer than 100 words of dialogue in the
Top Gun?
entire
Serious?
movie. And that was what made him a star.
That's incredible.
Well, I always remember the follow-up when we saw that kind of emotional hug at the end with Tom Cruise, didn't we? The stuff that preceded that, remember, he couldn't speak because he was so poorly. He could barely say words because of the throat cancer, and he's tapping out the words that he wants to say with Tom Cruise, and that final scene where he actually manages to summon some words. That was... he's a great actor, wasn't he?
Amazing.
Incredible.
All right. Now, Anthony Albanese has jetted in and out of Tassie today. Peter Dutton, he supported Albanese's call for wage increases, but didn't go as far as providing a dollar figure. There was also some tough talk on tariffs. The PM didn't rule out taking the US to the World Trade Organisation, but he rejected the opposition leader's claim that he was letting Donald Trump walk all over him.
Ultimately, what people want is a Prime Minister who can stand up for our country.
He thinks this is a contest of who can say the most aggro things. It's not.
Crazy scenes in Sydney where footage has emerged of a carriage door left wide open as a metro train travelled at high speed during this morning's commute. Passengers were forced to hang on to handrails as signage above the open door stated this door is out of service, clearly. The service was driverless and the incident is now under investigation.
And staying in Sydney, where massive swells and king tides have caused havoc, leaving the famous Bondi icebergs badly damaged. Incredible CCTV footage shows this. Huge waves just bursting through the glass doors and smashing through glass barricades. The club's office, lifeguard tower and floors were ruined. The 20-tonne water tank simply washed away.
The tank was ripped from its plumbing and headed off onto the beach, and it's crumpled up like a piece of tin foil. So the force of the waves and water must have been extraordinary.
It's crazy, isn't it? Now, the big swells, they even ripped up concrete, which kind of, and rightly so, blew the mind of this local.
Never seen anything like this. It's amazing. I just can't believe that the water has uplifted all this the cement. I can't believe it. Shocked.
Shocked. And she should be shocked. Whereas this lady, I don't know where they found her, but she just did her best Waleed Ali impression.
What do you think about the kind of force required to lift up concrete?
Oh, I don't know. It's just physics, I guess.
Apparently she went on a roller coaster and described the drop as gravity.
All right, we often hear stories about evil landlords jacking up the rent, refusing repairs, turfing out renters with next to no notice. Tonight, a terrible tenants story. One Aussie landlord left reeling after the family renting her property left it unrecognisable.
It's every landlord's worst nightmare. House trashed, rubbish strewn throughout, leftover food infested with maggots.
Oh, here we go.
Townsville homeowner Alana Blythe left on the verge of tears, taking to TikTok to share the state of her property.
People have, tried to give you a hand in life, and this is how you thank them.
The home was rented out for almost a year by a family of 2 adults and 5 children.
The children's room.
The tenants using a loophole to dodge rental inspections. Every time one was scheduled, they would ring up and cancel on the day.
I'm definitely in contact with the real estate in regards to how they dropped the ball.
Delaying inspections is a tactic that some of these tenants use just to prolong the fact that somebody's going to inspect the property. This is a rare case. But certainly emotionally for landlords, this can scar them for a lifetime.
Alana is not alone. Just a few months ago, a fellow Queensland landlord's home was left with $100,000 worth of damage and more than 30 dead cats in the freezer. Other Aussie landlords taking to social media to share their terrible tenant experiences.
This is the skip bin I had to hire to get rid of all the rubbish, grime, dirt.
It smells like urination. Look at the pool.
Certainly some of the worst examples that I've heard of in relation to tenants from hell include holes in walls and doors, pets being allowed inside but then damaging the property. Probably the worst one is a drug lab.
Victims like Alana left to clean up the mess.
The Townsville House of Horrors.
Alana Blythe herself joins us now. Alana, just so sorry that you've had to go through this, and we saw what your house looked like there, but can you just describe what it was like to discover?
It'll be like an interview with R2-D2. All you're going to do is beat me. So I'll try and give it a G-rated answer. Horrific, disgusting, rank, foul. My God, what have they done to the house?
Yeah, I can imagine. And thank you very much for controlling your tongue in the circumstance. What did it take
trying, but I'm a North Queenslander.
Fair enough. What did it take to clean up?
Willpower, screaming, thousands, and asking favours of friends to give us a hand. And of course, my children, free labour.
Yeah.
Alana, your tenants were behind on the rent. They were dodging rental inspections. Did you have any inkling that something was going wrong?
You know, you have a gut instinct that something's not right, and then you it's way worse than you thought. Look, when the rent was paid periodically, I was asking questions. But they never faulted on the shop that they were hiring. Well, sorry, not hiring, renting. But when the other shop owner went in, she sent me photos and videos and said, you might want to look at the house. But they were supposed to still be here till the 8th of April. So we came in knocking, yelling out, no one was here. And then that's when we walked inside and just the door unhinged.
We posted on social media about this today and we were flooded with similar horror stories and photos just like yours. What needs to be done about this kind of behaviour?
Well, everything falls back on a civil matter. And these people don't have, how are they going to pay for what they've done? They have no idea. Personally, I think it should be a criminal matter because you destroy someone's property, that is a criminal matter. But instead you're told, go to civil, and then it costs us more money, and then you get a piece of paper, but then you never get anything back.
Well, I was going to ask, we know of cases where fixing this kind of damage has cost six-figure sums. You're a nurse. I know that, that's not a very high-paid job. Is there anything you can do to recoup some of your costs?
I don't believe so, no.
Do you think you'll rent it out again, Alana, your house?
I don't want to, but unfortunately I have to pay the bank. So we'll have to get it back to pretty, and then hopefully a family that will actually appreciate living here will move in.
We can see the frustration, even the pain on your face there, Alana, and in your voice as well. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Appreciate it.
Wow. Now, guys, I fancy myself as a bit of a crime reporter.
You fancy yourself as a lot of things.
Yeah, I wear a lot of hats. I have to wear a lot of hats on this show.
No one else has a hat?
Yeah, no one else has hats. It's weird. Yeah, you stay in the shade. I don't get it. But I don't know, right, if Peter Dutton was murdered last night. I've been investigating. But if he was, don't worry. I think Victorian opposition leader Brad Batten has a watertight and totally not made-up alibi.
And I wish Peter Dutton all the best in his campaigning, and I look forward to campaigning with him between now and the election.
Did you happen to catch up with him last night?
Did I catch up? No, I was at an event last night.
Right.
Just trying to think of that. No, I was at an event last night. We went down to the Property Council and had a discussion about issues within the property sector here in Victoria. Obviously, a very important industry to try and get our investment back on track. And after that, went back and had a sleep.
Case closed, I guess.
I feel like that's how you answer questions from your girlfriend.
Me?
When you stay out too late at the pub.
Every hour is accounted for, OK? Yeah. Maybe
Where have you been, Sam?
Exactly. Look, if he didn't kill him, they might have hooked up. I don't know. He seemed sus just then, is all I'm saying.
More project after the break. Stick around. This is The Project. Welcome back.
Cancer can be a bumpy road, but the young woman you're about to meet is on a journey of a different kind. This trip is about wide open roads, breathtaking landscapes, bucket list adventures, and above all, family.
The journey's been a definite roller coaster of experiences, of highs and lows. We're focusing on the joy of being able to give Tilly what she wants in this journey. Okay. We have all the time in the world to be sad later.
The Sloman family is relishing every moment they spend together in and out of their second-hand 20-year-old camper van.
We've just taken things as they come and we've pivoted as we've needed to.
2 years ago, Queenslanders Tammy and Robert Sloman received news no parent wants to hear.
When we heard the word stage 4, I did have the stomach drop moment.
Because we knew stage 4 was
the last
full body
stage.
and last stage of...
It certainly was a very scary moment.
At 18, their only child, Tilly, was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of non-Hodgkin lymphoma.
No parent wants to outlive their child, but we came to terms with that back in December 23 when we were told that Tilly would be unlikely to make it to Christmas.
Did a whole lot.
Well done, Tills.
Even then, Tilly's spirit refused to break. The same girl that always gave it her all, from swimming
Go, Tilly!
to dancing, has so far defied the odds to celebrate not one, but 2 more Christmases.
Hey, beautiful, I've got a bit of a surprise for you.
Oh, okay.
This came for you.
Sorry if I say this wrong. Mariara and Mirabella team. It's a nail company.
Right from the start, she goes, I've got this. Cancer's not going to kill me.
But there have been close calls. Just after Christmas, Tilly blew a 5-centimetre hole in one of her already weak lungs.
I think the last few years has shown us, I guess, just how much we can cope with.
Yeah.
So when doctors told the family it was the time to make memories with Tilly, there was no hesitation. Rob purchased a camper van and 10 days later they hit the road for a once-in-a-lifetime trip across Australia.
We were just going on a hope and a prayer. We were just going to do it no matter what. If that meant that Rob and I ate rice for the trip, then so be it. This was too important for us as a family and as parents to be able to do for Tilly. If this is the only chance that she gets
To see this beautiful country.
Then we were going to do it for her.
For the past 5 weeks, the Slomans have been ticking off as many of Tilly's bucket list dreams as they can.
Feel that on your face.
Some of the beaches that we've passed and bushland and scenery have been phenomenal.
Along for the ride, Tilly's 2 dogs, Jasper and Jax.
The dogs mean the world to Till, and Till means the world to the dogs. And the boys will do absolutely anything for her.
Jax will sleep on her lap and he's so protective of her. Everywhere she goes, he's got to go.
It's a journey that has taken the family more than 9,000 kilometres across 4 states, through small towns, big cities and Aussie landmarks. Tilly's parents have captured every smile along the way.
She's loved it. She's loved the trip and she's really just loved spending this time as a family.
Recently, the Slomans rolled into Queensland's Tin Can Bay, one of only a few places in Australia where people can hand feed dolphins.
Tin Can Bay, this was a surprise visit for Tilly because she'd always wanted to feed dolphins.
It's okay.
It's such a special moment.
Special moment, yeah.
There we go. But some days are tougher than others. Tilly's 30-kilogram frame makes even the simplest movements harder.
Just to see your child go from someone that's running around to being picked up and carried to bed, picked up and carried to the chair or the bathroom, that's probably the hardest part about it. Like, physically doing it, that's not a problem. It's just the emotional side of it that she can't do it herself.
But even in the darker moments, the beauty of human kindness shines through.
Yeah, big smile, sweetheart.
We have met so many wonderful people along the way, and you know, there have been people who have just touched our hearts, just with not only their generosity, but just
with their kindness.
When a local business owner heard about Tilly,
Right, folks, we're away.
He offered to take her out on the water.
What Rob and Tammy are doing is just a stellar effort. They've got a smile on their face, they're looking on the bright side, they're obviously keeping going, all for Tilly, and I think they deserve everything they can get.
Along the way, they've caught up with friends and family. The sunny coast hosting 4 generations of women: Tilly, Tammy, Grandma and Great-Grandma.
Yeah, you do have your moments, but that's where you lean on your support network, your friends, your family, and certainly each other.
No matter where the road takes them, they know they've made the most of the time they've had.
We don't know what the future holds, but for now, we just take each day as it comes and enjoy each day that we have.
As the sun sets on their journey, Rob, Tammy and Tilly find joy in the most fleeting of moments. But it's bittersweet.
It's just the thought of losing her. Like, it does hurt. And, like, if we do lose her, it will suck. But at the end of the day, we'll know she's in a better place.
Yeah.
And that'll be enough. Love you too.
Beautiful parents, huh? Tilly, unfortunately, she has declined further, but she is still fighting, and her incredible parents, Tammy and Rob, they would really appreciate all the prayers they can get for their Till. And Tilly, if you are watching, we're all thinking of you in here and sending our love to you and your beautiful family.
What a family.
Amazing.
All right, let's go to a break. We'll be back soon. This is the project tomorrow. Megastar Ricky Martin.
Holy hell.
He will make a bang on the project ahead of his massive Aussie tour. Are you okay there, Sam?
Oh, it's just because my Argentinian girlfriend in the Spanish-speaking community,
yes,
it doesn't get any bigger than this.
I know.
She might come and watch the show for the first time. So this is very exciting.
I think Mick Bryant's onto it too.
Oh, you a fan?
Oh, huge fan of Ricky Martin, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, okay, it sounds like it.
The city audience.
Guys, let's check in quickly with the federal election, because in South Australia, the Liberal candidate for Spence, Dan Wild, learnt that meeting voters on the campaign trail, let me tell you, it's not for the faint-hearted.
How you going, Peter?
Yeah, very nice.
What was your name?
Daniel Wild.
I think I'm actually booked in to see you at some stage.
Right. Oh, very good. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'd love to sit down. I've got great boots on the ground.
Here we go.
With New City and all the great people there.
Yeah. Well, you've obviously got my
That's it. That's what politics is about. It's about getting your hands dirty, and if you break an arm, so be it. Okay.
All right, well, our next guest is one of the best who is gearing up to bring the laughs back down under.
My girlfriend is vegan. Sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you that. I assume she's already told you. Are there any vegans in? We got vegans in the house? There's one over there. What's your name, my vegan friend? Well, Erica. Very nice to have you here, Erica. No, I'm not going to make jokes about vegan food. I think it would be tasteless.
Please welcome Jimmy Carr.
Well, nice to be back on the project. Thank you.
So nice to see you again, Jimmy. You are returning to Australia next year. Those vegan jokes will go down pretty well in the land of the Barbie.
Well, I'll be all right. I think I'm sort of grandfathered in for offensive jokes. I think people know what to expect. If you buy tickets to see me, it's like buying tickets to a horror movie and then being annoyed that you're scared. Yeah, some people may be offended. It's okay.
I heard that you're writing a book about comedy, and specifically about the language of comedy. And I find this endlessly fascinating. What is funny language?
I'm trying to write a book with two friends, my friend Abby and Amanda. We're trying to put together a book which is how to write jokes. It's kind of a mitzvah. It's like it's a nice thing to do, and we're just kind of it's taking a long time because is it explanatory? Does it explain how jokes work, or is it predictive? Is it something that could actually help people to write jokes and to do comedy? Because my thing about comedy is, I mean, they teach music in schools, right? And it's nice to learn music and you appreciate music more in life. But I think comedy is a more day-to-day useful thing. I think we should be teaching this in schools. Because I think comedy is something that you go, it's something that it's a prism you can see life through, and it's about giving people perspective. Because really, all comedy is transgressive to a lesser or greater degree. You want it to be about something where there's stakes, and then you want to kind of push boundaries. And it's good to have perspective in life, and it's also good to be able to speak in your own voice. The sad thing is most people live and die without ever hearing their own authentic voice. So teaching people a bit of public speaking and teaching people how to kind of order their thoughts and speak in public and communicate strikes me as comedy covers a lot of bases, be a great thing to teach in schools. I'm working on the book, but it turns out writing books quite difficult.
Yeah.
It's hard enough reading them.
Yeah. Well, no, you don't need to read them. Just write them. That's the best way to go about it, Jimmy. Yeah. But so I like your idea, but here's the problem I can see with it. Comedians are famously the worst audience for comedy.
Work shy?
And if everybody in a country learns comedy, you will then have a country of terrible comedy audiences, and comedy will disappear.
I don't know if that's true.
Really?
I mean, I'm very lucky in that there's a coterie of comedians that I work with. Someone the other day called it the Cats Countdown Cinematic Universe. So I get to work with these incredible comics. We've just done a new show called Last One Laughing, where it's kind of all of us together. I'm hosting, but they're all in a room and they're trying not to laugh.
Is that a form of comedic torture, Jimmy, to be stuck in a room full of comedians and not be able to laugh?
Yeah. I mean, really, Friendly Fire took a lot of them out on this show. So it's on it's on Prime Video, and it was that thing of like they were so excited by the funny thing they were going to say that then they laughed. I wasn't allowed to compete in the show because my laugh is I've got an innie. My laugh is quite annoying because I don't laugh on an out. It's not a ha ha. It's a.
What does make you laugh, Jimmy? Because, you do some, maybe politically incorrect comedy, some kind of shock stuff sometimes as well. Is that kind of what you kind of react to the most, or is it, slapstick, someone tripping over?
I don't know. I kind of think you're a grifter. If you're selling something that you wouldn't buy yourself, that's a great definition of a grifter, right? My sense of humour is what I do live on stage, and I treat the audience like they're my friends at a party, and I'm trying to make them laugh. And I don't bother trying to go, they won't get that or they won't understand that. What I've learned through doing this for 25 years, people get it. People know when you're being serious for a minute on stage, and they know when you're joking, and they're laughing at the wrong thing because they know what the right thing is. And that's why that kind of the edgy stuff is what appeals to me. I've got quite a dark sense of humour. But when you think about what the purpose of humour is, like why have a dark sense of humour? Well, my sense of humour pays off on the worst days of your life.
Yeah.
You get the diagnosis, close friend dies. When life is too brutal to comprehend, I feel sorry for the people out there that get easily offended, and there's lots of them, because they've just got to white-knuckle it through the worst days of their life. At least if you have a dark sense of humour, on those terrible days, at least you get to laugh.
Well, tickets for Jimmy's Laughs Funny Tour are on sale now. All the information is on our website. Would you please thank Jimmy Carr?
And Jimmy, you've got to come back and host the show with us next time you're down here. Is that a deal?
Honestly, it would be not just my pleasure, but I think my duty I'm quite a professional broadcaster, and I just think the show needs me.
Bye, Jimmy.
Great to talk to you. Thanks for having me on, Matt. I really appreciate it.
We didn't pay him last time, did we?
No, parting shot on the way out.
Not tonight.
Let's thank Nick Bryan.
Yeah.